Yo guys, it's Sip here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today it's the Everton versus Chelsea match preview as we approach Christmas. As I'm recording this, we are currently 4 days away from Christmas. How crazy is that? This year has flown by, and Chelsea have done brilliantly in the festive period. We're coming to the end of it. And this is technically the final game before Christmas, and it's a big game in that sense as well. I say this in every single match preview, and obviously as I go through, I'm going to explain why it's a big game. It's a big game. So before we do get into the video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications to notified every time I load a video. Also, first link in the description is my streaming channel, my second channel. Go and check those out, it'd be very much appreciated. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it, and also go and subscribe, because like I've been saying, and I'm going to keep saying it until we hit the mark. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers, because I've got something massive for this channel planned that you will all going to love. Trust me, I promise you that. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, Everton versus Chelsea. Tough game and a big game. And let me tell you the reason why it's a big game, because I say this in every match preview and you're all probably bored of me saying it. It's a big game because the table is tight. The points are tight. Teams are creeping up on us, and also, look, we're not in the title race. Look, I'm gonna as I go more into the video, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm not in a title race, obviously, and stuff like that. Maresca keeps saying we're not in a title race. The players come out and say we're not in a title race. We're not in a title race, but we're mathematically there. We're mathematically there. But look, we're just here for the 3 points. We're just here to get 3 points and jog on. You know what I'm trying to say? That is all we're here for. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's a big game. We don't want to drop points. As I'm looking at the table right now, we are currently second. One game. Well, Arsenal have got a game in hand on us. So have Forest. So have Villa. And as I'm looking at the points, Forest are on 31, we're on 34. So there's only a 3-point gap there. Arsenal are on 33, we're on 34. There's a 1-point gap there. Villa are on 28, so there's a bit more of a bigger gap there. But like, do you know what I'm trying to say? All it takes is one loss, and then stuff can start deteriorating. We want to be first. We want to win the league. As much as we're saying we're not in a title race, look, we want to win the league. We want to go on and win the league, and mathematically we are there. We're only 2 points off Liverpool, but they've got a game in hand. Even when we play tomorrow, they've still got a game in hand. Even when they play tomorrow as well, they've still got a game in hand. So we obviously want to be there. We want to be second. We are comfortable being second. We would like to stay second, but we would also much prefer to be first. But we weren't expecting that at the start of the season. So look, it's a big game in that sense. And also, it's a tough game because it's Everton. Now, you're probably looking at a table, as I say, and I'm looking at a table right now. Everton are currently 16th with 15 games played, and they are on 15 points. Now, you're probably thinking, how is this a tough game? How is this a tough fixture? Well, Everton are a good side. They're a stable side. They're a stable Premier League side. And actually, if you don't know already, Everton are actually the longest serving Premier League side out of every team that is in the league and stuff like that. They've been in the Premier League the longest. They've never been relegated, I don't think. I think that's true. But like, it's tough because look, Everton are a side hard to break down. Defensively, very stable. They've got a good manager in Sean Dyche, Premier League experienced manager. They've got a lot of Premier League experienced players. You could argue more Premier League experience than us in terms of players and stuff like that. And they know what it's like to put up a tough game, especially at their ground. In my opinion, personally, I think Goodison Park is one of the hardest grounds to go to in the Premier League, in my opinion, and from what I've seen. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Now, I get glimpses at the Everton games because my dad is a Everton fan. I obviously go to my nan and granddad's to watch the Chelsea games because they're Chelsea fans, so I go and watch it with them. But sometimes when I come home and Everton are playing later, I usually get a glimpse at Everton. So I see quite a bit of how they play. And look, they're very defensive, but going forward, they are a bit of a problem. They are a good side. They're just very tough to break. They're very tough to break down. They're a very low block side. But there's one thing about them, and that is once you get that one goal, especially early on in the game, and you take control of the game, even after that, you're fine because they shut off. They shut off completely because I feel like their mentality is the fact that, oh, they're 1-0 up, they're taking control of the game, they're not backing off. It's over. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Their team struggles mentally with things. Now, they do have a new ownership. They have got a new ownership. I think that takeover happened yesterday or the day before, I think. or it's very close to going through, basically completed. So they're going to have that. I've seen a lot of people say it on social media, but I don't think it's really going to play that much of a part because it's the same team, but they're going to have that new ownership bounce. You know what I mean? They're going to have some sort of bounce. You can bet they're going to have some sort of bounce. You know what I'm trying to say? Especially the fans at their ground. It's a tough ground to go to. We usually struggle anyway at Goodison Park. You know what I mean? It's usually vice versa. When they come to our ground, we usually plumber them. Like last season, we plumbered them 5-0 or 5-1, one of the two. Cole Palmer got a hattie. Easy game. But then you take the game that we played last season at Goodison Park too. Again, I get it, it's Pochettino era, but like you take it when we went to Goodison Park, tough game, very tough. Season before that, I think Tuchel was in charge when we had Sterling. We won 1-0. Very scrappy game. Physically, they're going to be up for it. They're a very physical team. Sometimes we don't like it when teams put too much physicality on us. We kind of back away. But I want us to see us in challenges tomorrow. In challenges. Getting the challenges in. Not being scared of putting a foot in. Or trying to dribble past a player without getting hurt. You know what I'm trying to say? This is the type of game for it. You know what I mean? You've got to rise to the occasion. Now, with us, we're riding on the high. Right now. We're like 6 or 7 games unbeaten in all competitions, I think it is. I think it's like 4 in the Premier League. You know, we've come off a big win against Brentford. Again, another team we used to struggle against at our own ground. Yet we got a convincing win in that game. So even like I remember looking at the fixture list when people were saying it's an easy run of fixtures. Yes, on paper, this run of fixtures we've got until the half season part. You know what I'm trying to say? Where you play the teams a second time again. On paper, these are the easiest games because we should be beating teams like Brentford, Everton, stuff like that. Ipswich, which I think is the next one if I'm not mistaken. These are the teams we should be beating. But then you look at it on paper, Brentford at the Bridge. We've not beaten Brentford at the Bridge, but we got the result. Everton at Goodison Park, very tough. You know what I'm trying to say? These aren't easy games, but these are the games you've got to win if you really want to push and get convincing top 4, which we want. Or if you really want to push for a title. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, as much as I've already said, I don't think we're, well, mathematically we're in it, but like, we're not in it, I don't think. I don't think we've got the experience enough to be in it. But these are the games you need to win if you really want to be close to it. These are the games. So, look, we've got some injury news. I think Lavia is being monitored in terms of his fitness if he's able to start tomorrow. So, that's good news. Reece James is back on grass, in partial training from what I read, I think it is. So, again, that's good. Wesley Fofana and Badiashile are out for apparently a long period of time, so that's a bit of a bummer. We've got the January window happening inside of, like, 10 days or something? So, I mean, the window's open then. About just over a week. So, that's about it for the injury news, really. And now, let's move on to the lineup I'll go with for tomorrow. So, the lineup I'm going to go with for tomorrow is going to be right here on the screen. So, I'm going to go with Robert Sanchez in goal, Renato Vega left back, Levi Colwill and Tosandro Bayo are 2 centre-backs, Malo Gusto as the right back, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, double pivot, Jadon Sancho off the left, Cole Palmer in 10, Pedro Neto off the right, and then Jackson as the ST. I've also forgot to mention, actually, now I've just looked at the lineup sheet, Mudryk obviously is out with suspended. He's suspended at the moment. And so is Cucurella. Cucurella is different. He got a red card, whereas Mudryk's been suspended for doping. So, yeah. Anyway, so Sanchez in goal. Obviously, if it was me, it would be Jorgensen. I thought Sanchez had a good game last game he played. I thought against Brentford, he was actually really decent. So, fair play to him. I hope he could keep it up. But this is the thing about Sanchez. He's a 1 in 8 keeper, I feel. He plays one good game in 8 games. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, and we know he's going to start. So, Sanchez in goal. Renato Vega, I'd have him inverting as a left centre-back. Malo Gusto inverting into midfield, obviously. It's a bit of a bummer we don't have Cucurella for this game. Because I feel like Cucurella would be perfectly suited for this game. Perfectly suited. That aggressiveness he adds in the midfield is usually peak. We ain't got that tomorrow. I'm trusting Vega tomorrow. I really am. Last few games I've seen him play, I've not been particularly impressed with him, but it's the only viable option we've got to go with. So I'm hoping he can put in a solid performance in at left back, left centre back. Levi Colwill, Tosin Adarabioyo as well. There are our only two best centre backs we've got currently available. Obviously Colwill being an actual starter. Tosin actually does better, in my opinion, in Premier League games than he does in cup competitions. That's just me from what I've seen so far. That West Ham game he played at centre back was brilliant. And then the most recent one, I think it was Brentford, wasn't it, that he played in? I thought he was really solid in that game as well. Aerial ability was brilliant. So I'm hoping those two could keep it up. Malagusta right back inverting into midfield. We've seen him do it many times this season, especially early on in the season. I don't think he was particularly good at it. And I actually started to think to myself, is this really suited to him? Is it? Can we tweak it a little bit? But the past couple games that he's come in, he's actually done way better. Way better. He looks just better all round. Even on his final end product, he looks better. So I'm hoping he can keep that up as well. Enzo and Caicedo double pivot. I've not started Lavia because he apparently has a little bit of fitness problems. He's not injured. I guarantee he will play tomorrow. But if he's not 100%, even if he's at 95%, I'd still play Enzo and Caicedo. Don't risk Lavia. Don't risk him getting an injury, because I can see if he started in this game, if he's not 100% fit, I could see him getting an injury inside the first 30 minutes. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because this type of game is going to be like that. But Enzo and Caicedo, they've both been brilliant. All three of our midfielders, Enzo, Caicedo and Lavia, have all been brilliant. It's so difficult the past couple games, past 3 games, to decide who do we start in that midfield too. Who? It could be any of the 3 and I wouldn't even complain. But that one person that's getting left out doesn't deserve to be left out. And due to just fitness problems, I'm going to go with Enzo and Caicedo just in case. I also think physically as well, get stuck into this game and stuff like that. Not being shy to put foot in. I feel like these two are better suited for this type of game as well. Especially Enzo, his creativity, him finding those switch balls that he usually does from one end of the pitch to the other, or spotting that one pass that not a one player in this team can find. You know what I'm trying to say? Enzo, we need that tomorrow, so he's going to be quite vital as well. So Caicedo and Enzo in the pivot. Jadon Sancho off the left, obviously, as well. I think now with Mudryk obviously being suspended, I think Felix will now become the left wing backup. I think Nkunku will go from striker backup to the 10 backup. And I also think Mark Goose should be the ST backup to Jackson now. Obviously now that Mudryk's been suspended, because I actually think Mark Goose has been quite decent. But that's a Mark Goose chat for another day. Sancho obviously off the left. He's been brilliant since he's come in. Cole Palmer in the 10. Self-explanatory. Pedro Neto off the right, again self-explanatory. That midfield, that 3 and behind the striker has been brilliant in my opinion, and Pedro Neto is definitely ahead of Noni Madueke in the pecking order at the moment, in my opinion. And I'm a big Madueke fan, and even I'm saying that. And obviously Jackson is the ST. Jackson, I saw somewhere, I think Jackson has 17 goals in his last 20 Premier League games, or 22 Premier League games. That statistic is brilliant. Or GA. It might be GA, or it might be goals. It's one of the two. But that statistic is brilliant. A lot of people used to crucify Jackson and say, oh, he's not striking material. Oh, we're not too sure on him. I've been saying it from the get-go. This guy's brilliant. We just need another striker to back him up. Do you know what I mean? So Jackson's got to be on it tomorrow as well, by the way, because Everton's defenders are going to give him a tough game. So he's got to be on it. And I can see him in this type of game dropping deep, linking the play. And trying his hardest to find that space in behind, even though that low block from Everton's going to be tough. Anyway, that's the team lineup I'll go with for tomorrow. Let me know in the comments down below what yours would be. So as I was about to just click the record button to obviously record my predictions, I just saw a statistic on my screen. We have only scored 2 goals in our last 7 visits to Goodison Park. Oh, God. This is what I'm trying to say. This ground is a bogey ground to us. This is usually a tough game. Anyway, now I'll move on to score predictions. Like I said, it's going to be a tough game. I wouldn't be surprised if we do concede tomorrow. Do you know what? I'm going to keep it honest with you all. I'm not going to come here and lie. A draw is stuck in my head right now. I feel like it's going to be a 1-1. I've got to be honest. A 1-1 draw is stuck in my head. But also, in my heart, I've got another result telling me it's going to be Everton 1, Chelsea 2. And obviously, I'm going to back the heart. So I'm going to go with Everton 1, Chelsea 2. We will concede tomorrow, but we've got to hold that resilience. We've got to... what's the word? We've got to match their physicality. We've got to not be... We've not got to rush that low block, because tomorrow we've got to come across a bad low block tomorrow. In my opinion, the worst low block in the league. We've got to somehow break that down. We've got to take our time at doing it. So that's my score predictions for tomorrow. Let me know in the comments down below what yours would be. Anyway, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're ready for my upload for my match review an hour after the game tomorrow. So be ready for that. Be here for that. Let's get this tomorrow. Come on, Chelsea. Take care, everybody. Take care. Have a good rest of your day and night. Peace.